Okay, so the tale that I'm going to tell you is really sweet and romantic and tragic, and it all begins on the River Seine in Paris. Now, we all know that the River Seine is considered one of the most beautiful and romantic urban waterways in the world. Shit. However, prior to modern day sanitation practices, the Seine was a cesspit. It was disgustingly polluted from commerce and travel and all manner of junk being dumped in it, which means it was even more tragic when the body of a teenage girl was pulled from those murky waters in the late 1880s. She showed no signs of foul play. It was assumed that she had taken her own life, which was very common and continues to be common at the Seine. And as was common for the day, they propped her up on display at the Paris mortuary near Notre Dame Cathedral, and people would come as, you know, an afternoon thing to do. Let's go see if we recognize anybody at the morgue. And sadly, nobody came forward to claim her. However, a pathologist at the mortuary thought that she was just lovely. So he hired a molder to come and create a death mask of her. And the result was exquisite. She had this lovely skin and the eyelashes laid wet against her cheek, and she displayed this half enigmatic smile. And this led to an incredible proliferation of reproductions being made and sold throughout Paris. People loved her face. They were using her as decor in their homes. And even French philosopher and Nobel laureate Albert Camus had a copy of the mask in his home, and he would introduce her to guests as his drowned Mona Lisa because of her half smile. Over the years, the mask was reproduced and sold not only in France, but it traveled to Germany. And then from Germany, it traveled to the rest of Europe. And she became the epitome of female beauty. Women would emulate her look, especially in Germany. And the German actress Elisabeth Bergner was very famous for impersonating her look. And it's said that the L'Inconnu was the paragon of feminine mystique and beauty until Greta Garbo toppled her when she came along. And I think it's really interesting, if you look at Greta Garbo, the features are still very similar. She inspired writers and musicians and poets and artists, and the very first person to write about her was English author Richard Le Gallienne. He wrote a novella called The Worshipper of the Image, which was published in 1900, and in it, L'Inconnu is the antagonist. The mask is possessed with an evil spirit that lures a young poet away from his family, and he is completely seduced by her. So this was something that was really popular. I mean, as I mentioned, Albert Camus had a copy of her mask. Rilke wrote of her. Nabokov wrote a poem entitled L'Inconnu de la Seine. And if you didn't know, L'Inconnu de la Seine means the unknown woman of the Seine. She went by many names. L'Inconnu de la Seine, the drowned Mona Lisa, the Belle Italienne. I have no idea where they got Italian from. She was never thought to be Italian, but people are weird. So jump forward to the 1950s, and a man by the name of Archer Gordon, who was with the American Heart Association, was working with other doctors on a new procedure, a new life-saving procedure called CPR. And he approached this Norwegian toy maker by the name of Asmund Lerdahl. Lerdahl, who was making dolls and toy cars and that sort of thing, and you see him here with his doll Anne, who became very popular at the time. He was experimenting with this newfangled material called plastic. And they approached Lerdahl and said, hey, we need a life-size mannequin for our CPR practitioners to practice on and to learn on. Can you make a life-size dummy? And he said, of course I can. The reason being, just a few years prior, he himself had saved his 2-year-old son from drowning. So this was something that really spoke to him. He had seen the Mask of L'Inconnu in, some people say it was his grandparents' house, other people say it was his in-laws. Whatever the case, he was familiar with her. And he thought that he would use her face because they didn't think a man would be willing to touch lips with a dude's face on this dummy. Homophobia, yay! So, Ressoussian was born, looking here a lot like Michael Myers. And there were some really lovely photos taken of Lerdahl demonstrating the use of resuscitation Anne, or CPR Annie as she's called here in the States. And I think that this shows a bit more, respect for her, unlike the way we treat her today. But who here, by applause, has taken a CPR class and remembers saying, Annie, are you okay? Okay. So you know who else took a CPR class and remembered, Annie, are you a smooth criminal? I did not know that until I did the research for this talk. So the point is, she became a muse for so many people. A recent novel that was published in 2021 is about her. But my favorite piece that she inspired came about in 1966 when surrealist author Louis Aragon approached avant-garde photographer Man Ray and said, hey, I wrote this book back in 1944, but I'm editing it, and I wonder if you would be willing to take a series of photos to be accompaniment to my book. So the book was published in 2 parts. These are the covers. And these are just some of the 15 photos that came from that project. But it still begs the question, who was she really? We really don't know. And we don't even know if the story is true. It could be completely apocryphal. It could be absolute bullshit. Some people say that there's no way in hell that a mask of a dead woman could have looked that good. They say that it must have been a live model. Another theory came out not too long ago that she was actually a Hungarian music hall performer by the name of Eva Laszlo, who was murdered by her lover. And if you look at the photos, it's uncanny, right? It's got to be her, right? Yeah, no, it's total bullshit. It was made up by an Oxford artist by the name of John Gatto, and to his dismay, people saw this and ran with it. And now, all over the internet, you can see, oh yes, we know who the L'Inconnu is. Don't believe it, it's bullshit. Today, you can still go to the Atelier Lorenzi where they make these masks in Paris. And the mask is still produced. It is now sold under the name Noyée de la Seine, which is just the drowned woman of the Seine. And I personally would really kind of like to get one for my own home. I think she's really pretty. So with that, I would like us to raise a glass to the eternal and immortal beauty and mystique of L'Inconnu de la Seine, whoever the fuck she was. Thank you.